Terrific, I don't care what I do, I fly bitch out to Miami. 4-9, why you be flexing so much? Got more chains on your ancestors. I just took 1,000 losses, no cap. I ain't trip, I don't see my man's winning. Oh, you got all the money? I know. You fucking all the hoes? Heard you be selling dope? I be selling pounds now, round.
YouTube, what's good, man? Today we cooking up a beat for ROB49. He dropped that 4 Guy 2. It's going crazy. So we finna get into this video, man. Hey, but look, a little fun fact for y'all. He said something about speaker knockers in that song. I went to high school with speaker knockers, man. Just a little fun fact. But hey, let's get into this cook up, man. Alright, so you already know me in FL with it, man. For this beat, we're gonna be in the key of D minor. Now with ROB49, he's on them fast, aggressive beats, man. So we have 163 BPM. We got the LA Custom C7 wash piano, and we just got some simple notes here on this low octave. So this is what it sounds like. Very simple here, man. So all I did basically, I put a key on the root note, which is D. We're in the key of D, scale D minor scale. So the root note is D. And boom, if I were to make a chord or start making a chord, you know, put one note down, skip one, put another note down, boom, I just move that second note over to the end here. And it's literally that simple there. As far as the mixing goes here, I just got a simple Valhalla vintage verb. Turn down the mix to about 15%. Add a little pre-delay so that the reverb comes in a little bit later after the initial sound comes through, the dry sound of the piano, then the reverb kind of trails it. We just turned the decay down and then turned up the low cut to take out the low end of the reverb. We don't need it. Boom. Then we got a simple EQ, just smoothing out some of that low end there, because we still want them bass notes to sound low, but just not clashing with the bass later, like the 808. And we got a fruity compressor to kind of compress that piano, just make it sound a little bit more tight and compact, you know. And you'll see with the melodies here, I'm actually routing them all to this melody bus. So let's actually name this. So what this does is it basically, we're routing each individual instrument that we have into this bus. You can do that by right clicking the triangle at the bottom and then route to this track only. That way all the melody, I can put these effects on it. So I'll explain that some more a little later. Alright, next we got these keys out of Electra X. This is the hidden beneath keys preset in the Ocean View and Imperial Music bank called Slimeball. So I wanted like a plucky sound just to kind of be real repetitive over the top of the beat. So I found this one. That's what it sounds like. I like it has that kind of like that trap texture to it, you know? That's some trap shit. So boom, this is the melody we have without the effects. Very simple, we just got that repeat. So boom, the effects is what sauce it up. So we'll turn those on. First thing we have is this effect rack, and we have the long crystal sweep preset. And what that makes it sound like is this. So it's adding like that sweep of like those extra grains and like that reverb and delay. And we just turned down the mix on it a little bit because it was a little aggressive. Boom, next, we got a halftime on one bar, and that kind of tames it down a little bit more. So this is what it sounds like. Super hard, man. And then we just got a simple EQ cutting out the low end, so. Smooth. Hey man, I know you rocking with this video, so go ahead and drop me a like and subscribe, man. What are you doing? I see your head bobbing, bro. So you might as well do it, bro. You know the rules. All right, the next sound we got in Expand is in the vocals bank, and we have gammon. It's basically like a pad, a vocal, and a bell. So this is what it sounds like. Real tough, man. Again, we just on the root note here, D. And then we're on these top notes, which are just basically the fifth of a chord in D minor. So if I made a chord, right, boom, and then I just drop this middle note, and I'm just using these two notes up here with this D. And then on the last half of it, instead of dropping that middle note, I just move it down an octave, and then I just drag it down one more semitone, just to kind of fill it out all the way on the end of the loop there. Now on the mixing for that one, we got an effect rep, and we have the extreme low pass sweep on there, and we also have this pan man too. So I don't know if you could hear, but it was kind of moving between your headphones as it was playing. So I just love that like kind of ear candy when I'm making beats, just for the listener, just something real wavy going on in the background, you know. All right, next melody we got is just from Labs. This is the Frozen Strings Cello. Real simple here. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Hold on. All right, this is real simple. We're literally just on the root note here. Very simple. Just a nice texture to add into the beat as well. On the mixing for that one, we got Fruity Stereo Enhancer. We got on this 4 strings preset here. It just kind of widens out the sound. And then we also have a Valhalla Vintage Verb. Turn down the mix a little pre-delay, decay a little higher than that piano, and we turn up the low cut. All right, and the last melody we have is this Gypsy Violin from the Balkan Ethnic Orchestra here. And this is what it originally sounds like. Real simple, man. Again, we're just kind of on the root note and playing with the half steps here. As you can see, we're just on F and E, which are these two notes right next to each other. Gives it that real dark sound. And then at the end, we just kind of bounce off this A at the bottom. And I think this like, let's see if I pitch that up right. Let's see. Yeah, so with that A, somebody told me in my comments, so I always talk about how B to E sounds good, or E to B. And somebody actually explained it to me. I think his name was Pack Heavy, shout out him. But he was telling me like, it's basically like a fifth. So the fifth of whatever your root note is gonna sound really good. So if we have B and E, you know, it'll be that. But in this case, we have D and A. So this A is the fifth of D because it's the top note. It's the top note of the chord. So that's why that works. So I just, learning that information from him, I now know that instead of just B to E, I can also do D to A, G to C. You know, there's a bunch of different variations for that. So then on the mixing, we have Valhalla Vintage Verb, same thing going on here. And then we have Stereo Enhancer, 4 strings preset again. Oops, I didn't change it. There we go, 4 strings. All right, so once I had the strings done, I actually, so what I did is I came into the playlist here. This was the strings I had. I just highlighted the strings and hit Control-Alt-C to consolidate it and just turn to a wave form. And on this wave, I just turned down the multiplier by 50%. And what that does is it speeds it up. So this is what those strings sound like now. Real cool. And what I also did with the piano as well, I did the exact same thing with the piano. I just highlighted it, consolidated it, turned it into a wave, and this is what that piano sounds like too. Well, I reversed it as well, and I did a couple other things. Fade stereo, it basically just moves it from one, you know, from one speaker to the other speaker, essentially. I'm not sure why I reversed the polarity. I might have clicked that on accident. So yeah, this is what the piano sounds like. So that's just another cool texture that you can add with the same melody that you already had done. Just reverse it. Earlier I was explaining the melody. Earlier I was explaining the melody bus. So like I said, we routed all of the melodies to this melody bus here. And what I have going on the melody bus is a fruity compressor, just to glue those melodies together a little bit more. And we got sketch cassette just to add a little kind of tape effect to it, a little, you know what I'm saying, compression, a little distortion, you know, just, you know, some saturation, all of that. And we got a fruity parametric EQ, just taking out some of the overall lows and rolling off a little bit of the highs on the entire melody. All together, this is what our melody sounds like. So crazy. The drums about to be so hard on this thing. Alright, man, let's break down these drums real nice and simple, man. So first we just got a simple two-step hi-hat going. We got the snare on the 3 and the 7, nothing changing there. And we got a little open hat for a little flavor. Got a good little bounce to it already, man. Now with these type of beats, man, for a ROB49 or like Boston Richh or, you know, just trap beats in general now, a lot of people have been using these perks here, so that's gonna be kind of like a rim, kind of like a West Coast kind of rim shot kind of sound. You know what I'm saying? That type of sound there. The laser. I guess that's a laser. I don't know why they call it a laser. Sound like, I don't know what it sound like. Then we got a triangle. You know what I'm saying? Triangle. Simple stuff, man. And these zaps. Those are essential perks for these type of beats. So all together, this is what our percussion sound like. Now on these Cali perks, as you can see, I kind of play with the velocities, and I also pan them to the left. Oh, y'all can't even see that. Hold on one second. How can I? Y'all can't even see it, but I pan them to the left. If you go over here to control, you can change it to note pan instead of velocity, and you can kind of pan your notes that way as well. It's real cool. Alright, boom, and then we also have 2 808 patterns on this one. Same 808, but you know, just to add some variation to the beat. So this first pattern, we just want to keep it real simple, give the artist a nice little steady bounce to, you know what I'm saying, do their thing too. So this is what that 808 sound like. That's the second 808 pattern there as well. Now, on the first 808 pattern, real simple bounce. At the end of it, we had this little roll. The way I did that, just put down a note, put it on this F. I hit Alt on my keyboard and U. On Mac, it's gonna be Option U. And I just changed the roll with this little time multiplier knob. So I did this one here, and that's how I created that roll. On the second half of it here, as you can see, as you can't see actually, I play with the velocities on the 808, so to get it a little bit more bounce. So this is how I did that right here. So when I have these notes, these 808s hitting right before another one, I just highlight it and scroll down on my mouse wheel, hold Alt and scroll down on the mouse wheel, and that lowers the velocity of that note. You see how it gives it kind of a cool little bounce? You know what I'm saying? It's just something real slight that you can do. Is real cool. On the second 808 pattern, we pretty much followed the same bounce, right? But I just added this A sharp down here and this A in certain spots, so it gives it a different kind of bounce here. Yeah. Just so simple, man, but it's so hard. So boom, on the mixing for the drums, man, we're not doing nothing too crazy here. We got a simple little fruity soft clipper on the 808. We got an EQ on the 808. We're just rolling off a little bit of the lows because you really can't hear anything past 30 hertz. And we have the 808s in mono. So that's just kind of censoring that sound for us. I don't really want my 808 spread out. That's like almost like a vocal. Like we just want that going kind of straight down the middle. Then I got the open hat, nothing on there. The hi-hats, I got a little EQ, just cutting out some of the lows. On my snare, just an EQ, rolling off some of them lows, and we're kind of boosting it a little bit here. Also down here, I played with it a little bit with the EQ on the mixer itself. And we also have the snare mono. And then the perks, we don't really have too much going on. And if we go back to the channel rack, most of the time what I do when I'm mixing something, I'll go ahead and adjust my levels while I'm creating the beat itself with these knobs here. This, you know, before you even have to get into this down here, you can adjust how loud your sounds are, because honestly most of mixing is leveling and EQ. So if you just have the right levels, most of the time your beat's gonna sound pretty good. You're gonna create space for all your other stuff. On the melodies, like I said, I just kind of stereo separate everything here so that the drums have room to do their thing, the melody have room to do its thing. And on my master, we just got a fruity soft clipper, man. It's nothing too crazy. This down here is just a loudness meter. It'll tell me how loud, like, you know, how loud the beat is. Alright, so all together, this is what the beat sounded like. Folks, that's how you cook up one for ROB49. He just dropped that project. That thing going crazy, man. Hey, speaking of drop projects, I actually just recently dropped a song with my homegirl Nala. I made the beat, I engineered it, and I also actually got on there and started doing my thing. It's an R&B vibe. I'm singing on it a little bit, you know, but it's hard, man. So if y'all want, y'all can check that out. I'll put the link in the description as well if y'all want to support. But yeah, man. Hey, if you like the video, man, go ahead and drop your boy a like. Sub to me if you new. We gonna keep them coming. You know how I go. But that's it for me. So I'll let y'all boys, man.